Unlocking financial success. 10 rules school won't teach you. What did you study about handling money during your college years? Topics like credit, investing, and money management? Or did you just take the required courses to graduate? Well, for many people, these classes seemed somewhat pointless, similar to subjects like calculus, astronomy, and anthropology. As I've spent more time out of college, I've become increasingly disappointed by the lack of essential financial knowledge provided in my education. Society often advises us to get an education, find a job, and things will work out. Unfortunately, it's not that straightforward. To truly succeed in life, you need to understand much more about money than what school typically teaches. Personal finance is a crucial foundation for success. To help you avoid the difficulties of learning through trial and error, our team of experts has put together a list of the 10 most important financial rules that everyone should follow to stay on top of their finances. Get a pen and paper ready because here are 10 vital personal finance rules that you likely didn't learn in school. And before we dive in, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss any of our videos. Let's get started. 10. Purchasing your first house. You might have heard that to buy a home, you need to save 20% of its price for a down payment. If you don't do this, you'll have to pay extra for something called private mortgage insurance, which can be costly. But what they don't teach you in school is that it can be a good idea to pay a bit more on our monthly mortgage payments instead of waiting years to save up that 20%. In the United States, the value of homes has been going up a lot in recent years while people's incomes haven't increased much. This means that saving 20% can become really hard because home prices keep rising. Here's the simple rule. If you can comfortably save up to 20% within 5 years, go for it. But if it'll take you longer, it's like chasing a moving target because home prices keep going up. Number 9. Save more money. In school, they tell you to save at least 10% of what you earn. But let's be real, that's not enough to retire comfortably unless you're making a ton of money. For most of us with regular incomes, a good goal is to save between 25% to 40% of what we make. However, starting with 10% can be a good way to begin saving. To save more, you can cut down on your expenses and avoid unnecessary spending. For example, instead of buying a daily cup of coffee, put that money into a savings account that gives you better interest on your savings. Number 8. Savings for unexpected situations. You might not have learned about this in school, but we're here to tell you about it. Recent stats revealed that nearly 40% of Americans can't handle a $400 emergency expense. This shows how many people underestimate the need for an emergency fund. Imagine if you lost your job today. Would you have enough money to pay your bills? The rule of thumb is to save up at least 6 months worth of living expenses for emergencies. But if you can save even more, that's even better. Number 7. Fundamental money management. Budgeting is really important in life, but schools usually don't teach it. This lack of knowledge can put you at a disadvantage when you graduate and start living on your own. If you don't know how to manage your expenses and tell the difference between what you need and what you want, you might face financial difficulties. It's essential for everyone to learn how to plan their spending based on their income. This means making sure you can pay all your bills and still have money left for important things like groceries and savings. But let's be honest, nobody likes keeping track of every little expense. Instead, you can try something called tactical budgeting. This means making budgets and plans for several months at a time. For example, you can figure out what you'll need each month and make a budget that includes both needs and wants along with your costs for the next 6 months. Then, you can divide the money into different accounts to make sure you don't spend more than your budget allows. Occasionally, you can check your list to make sure you're staying on track. Number 6. Earning more from your savings over time. Compound interest is a really powerful thing and it's like a secret weapon, especially for young people. What's great about being young is that you have time on your side. Even though you might not reach your financial goals right away, you have an advantage when it comes to investing. All you need to do is make use of the magic of compound interest. Here's how it works. You put away small amounts of money in an account that earns a lot of interest. Over time, your money grows and the interest keeps adding up. To illustrate how important this is, imagine someone gives you 2 options. The first choice is $3,000 and the second choice is a penny that doubles in value every other day. Most people would probably pick the first choice, right? You might have thought the same. But if you do the math, that second choice would be worth $10 million after just 30 days. If that doesn't convince you of the incredible opportunity that compound interest offers for growing your wealth, then I don't know what will. Number 5. Understanding the ins and outs of credit. Credit can be a tricky thing for young people, especially when they first get credit cards. Many end up using them too much and getting into debt, which leads to paying high interest rates and sometimes even missing payments. What most people don't realize is how important their credit scores and credit history are. Your credit credit score is a crucial part of your financial health and it has a big impact on your financial future. With a good credit score, it's easier to buy a house, get a car, secure a business loan, and achieve other financial goals. We can't underestimate the importance of credit anymore. Everyone should know how to build and maintain a good credit score. Here are some tips on how to do it. 1. Get a credit card. Having a credit card is actually important for building your credit score. Let me share an example. My friend Kevin avoided getting a credit card for a long time after finishing school. Doesn't sound like a problem, right? But when he wanted to buy a home and a car, he couldn't get a loan because he didn't have a credit history. Here's how it works. When you get a credit card and use it responsibly, your financial transactions and payments are recorded by institutions which then give you a credit score. When you apply for a loan, your score determines how much you can borrow and the interest rate you'll get. 2. Pay your debts on time. There's no way around this one. If a payment is due today, make sure you pay it today. Number 4. Guidelines for understanding insurance. If someone relies on your financial support like your child, spouse, or parent, you should consider getting life insurance. It's usually better to go for a term life insurance policy because it provides coverage when you need it. But if no one depends on your financial help, you can save money by not getting life insurance. Apart from life insurance, it's a good idea to get insurance for other things you own like your car, home, valuable belongings, and your health. You can also look into umbrella insurance, which combines different types of insurance and can give you a discount if you get it from one insurer. Before choosing an insurance company, take your time to compare different rates and features. Number 3. Taxes. Taxes are a big topic that usually isn't covered in school, but it's crucial to understand them to stay on the right side of the law. Before you start earning money from your job or business, it's a good idea to learn how to figure out how much you'll pay in taxes and how much you'll actually take home. This knowledge can help you decide if a job offer meets your financial needs and how to price your products or services. The good news is that there are many online calculators that can do the math for you. They'll show you your total pay, the amount you owe in taxes, and what you'll have left in your bank account, which is often called your take-home pay. For example, if you earn $35,000 a year in Manhattan, New York, you might end up with about $26,399 after taxes. It's also important to pay attention to your marginal tax rate when you get a raise. For instance, if your salary goes from $35,000 to $41,000 a year, you won't get an extra $500 per month but closer to $345. Lastly, it's a good practice to prepare your own tax returns. There's a lot of incorrect information and bad advice out there, so be cautious. Number 2. Protecting your well-being. A trip to the hospital for an injury like a fractured knee can be really expensive if you don't have health insurance. If you're struggling to pay your monthly health insurance premiums, just think about what might happen if you have to go to the emergency room. You could end up borrowing money to cover your medical bills, which isn't fair to you or the people you owe. To avoid this situation, it's a good idea to get health insurance as soon as possible. Plus, taking care of your health can save you a lot of money in the long run. This means eating the right foods, maintaining a healthy weight, exercising regularly, and not overdoing it with things like alcohol and other addictive substances. It's important to look after your health now so you won't regret it later. Number 1. Managing student loans. Contrary to what many people believe, you don't have to take on student loans to get a college degree. About 85% of new graduates are burdened with heavy student debt that they need to repay once they start working. However, there are alternative paths to pursuing higher education without accumulating debt. Some colleges, like Davidson College in Charlotte, offer ways to help students graduate without debt. You can also consider attending more affordable schools, going to school part-time while working, or starting at a community college. Graduating quickly or pursuing high-paying careers may justify taking on some debt, but it shouldn't be the primary focus of your college experience. There are numerous ways to achieve your career goals without drowning in student loans. That's all for today, and we hope you found these tips helpful. If you're still watching, I assume you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. We regularly post finance videos that can help you improve your financial situation, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stash Cash signing off.